Hey, what's up, guys? Mike Patrick, and in this video, I want to talk about should millennials get serious in relationships? Should millennials get serious in relationships, and should they marry? All right. Now, um, I want to talk about this topic because I seen some good information that was referring to how millennials aren't getting married. All right. And millennials aren't really interested in getting in serious relationships, okay? Now, I believe this is just from societal circumstances, okay? And no, it's probably not the smartest thing to get into a serious relationship and to get married at this particular point in time. And the reason I say that is because societally, you know, things are structured in a way where it is not in your best interest to get married. Now, why do I say that? Because millennials, guys, we are probably the first the first generation. Yeah, I would say we're the first generation that at an epidemic rate are missing fathers. Okay, and we're missing fathers in the household. Now, especially when it comes to the African American, the so-called African American community. Okay, so what happens is now you have people who are moving into an age, okay, where you're in your late 20s, early to mid 30s, okay, and you have a lot of these millennials who grew up without fathers in the household. Now, why is that really important? Because a big part of what makes a woman, not the only factor, but a big factor in what makes a woman say marriage material is her upbringing and her relationship with her father. So when you have women, a lot of women who have been raised without having that father figure, they end up with psychological issues, okay? The voids, all right? That spores a lot of dysfunctionality, I'm sorry, okay? Or dysfunctional behavior, okay? Because they're missing their fathers, okay? And the father plays a big role in the development of both a man and a woman, a son and a daughter, okay? But it definitely does play a role in how a female, a woman develops, okay, and what she develops into, okay. A lot of women who don't end up growing up with their fathers and don't get that love, okay, that attention, okay, that care, that protection from their fathers, it affects them in many different ways, okay. For one, when they don't get the love from a man at that age, okay, the type of love that they need at that age from the right type of man, which is their father, the man who brought them into the world, who really, really loves them, okay, a certain type of way. When they're missing that, okay, they grow up trying to fill a void many times. So a lot of times this is responsible. This is responsible for very promiscuous women. Okay, so that's why promiscuity, is that the word? Promiscuity, or maybe, I think, whatever. You get the point. If that's a word, that's why promiscuous women are very prevalent. Say, they always been prevalent, but especially nowadays amongst our millennial aged, our millennial group, okay. Um, and obviously, if someone is promiscuous, they're not good relationship material, right? They're not someone that you want to take seriously, okay. Um, as far as having a true bond, true commitment, okay, and loyalty and things of that nature. So that's one reason why it's probably not a good idea for millennials to take each other seriously and get married, okay? Also, um, when a woman is missing her father, or has been missing her father or was missing her father growing up, okay, they don't really have that structure either and that discipline that a father can give his daughter, okay? So she doesn't have much of an example of respecting the authority of a man. So we know that is going to be an issue, okay, if you're trying to get married, okay, and if you have women who are a lot more authoritative themselves, okay, and who are going to naturally bump head with the man, unless it's a man who doesn't mind being, you know, uh, taking the back seat, okay, and so that's the makings of a relationship that's not going to last, okay, so that's another reason, all right. Um, Also, when a woman grows up without her father, okay, a lot of women, they don't just grow up without their father, and there's no man around at all. Many females of the millennial generation have a lot of traumatic and emotional baggage, okay, and issues based on their mothers may have dealt with multiple different men throughout the upbringing of their childhood, okay, and a lot of these women ended up molested, raped by men who wasn't their father, and so that's the protection issue where if your father's not there, let's say your mom is dealing with a particular man at a particular point in time, and you never really know a person, and in some cases maybe women just didn't care, even if they thought that the person was capable of doing something like that, they didn't care enough to not deal with them or bring them around their child. So you have a lot more women who have been sexually assaulted, okay, that, and that stuff that stirs up a big mess in a woman, okay, when it's time, when she grows up, and over the years, and when it's time to be in a relationship, okay. So with that said, guys, a lot of women, and then now with all the propaganda, okay, that feeds into, women not taking the back seat, not being submissive, stepping out on their own, doing what they want to do. The whole feminist aspect, the whole woman empowerment thing that's going on that's more prevalent right now than probably almost ever. So with all that stuff said, guys, it's not a making for a society that that is, where people are going to likely be able to stay in a relationship, okay? All right? People just don't have the material. They don't have they're not uh strong relationship, long lasting relationship material no more at this point due to all these things. And then men have their issues too. Okay? The men have their issues as well. So it's just not a good mixture anymore. Okay? And then and then it's other factors too. It's other factors, but I think that's enough right there just to get you like, man. And then also the system, okay? The system where now it favors women a little more, but another reason as a man why you probably want to pump your brakes on actually getting married and even having children is because you got to look at it the way it is today, guys. 9 times out of 10, your relationship is not going to last, okay? Let's just be 100. For those who it does last and it is going to last, okay, I salute you, I support you, and keep being a good example for people, working on things, sticking it out, staying together, okay, as a family and as a unit, and not feeding in to all the the evil, stimulation out here that separates people, separates families and things of that nature, okay? And breaks down society ultimately if you see the big picture. But like I said, there's other factors. We're a very overly sexualized society, so so it promotes, you know, people not dealing with one person and things of that nature. So it's so many reasons why people shouldn't try to take people seriously. Now, with that said, we have needs. We do still have to enjoy life. We still want to do certain things. So what it is, I think as men, if you want to be a respectable man, you know, you don't disrespect women. You just understand them. I would say you is nothing as far as my understanding and what my beliefs are. There's nothing wrong with dealing with a woman, okay? But you have to, you know, put in perspective what you're trying to get out of that encounter and relationship. And I think it's fair to the woman and fair to yourself, to your integrity, okay, as a man. I think we have to start not sugarcoating things, being respectful to women, but laying out your intentions, okay? You know, I think women would respect that, and either women are going to deal with you or they won't. But at least you can move on, okay? And I think we're in a situation where we can deal with each other, but I think we just shouldn't expect too much out of each other from a loyalty standpoint, from a commitment standpoint, things like that. I think two grown people can hook up, do what they do, have respect for each other, do it in a responsible, you know, respectful manner. But I don't think at this point we should be worried about trying to, you know, um, go further with things. Okay, it's tough because people still got to procreate. Babies still got to be made to maintain civil society. But it's kind of hard being a guy because it's like, well, you got to bring children into the world, but 9 times out of 10, you bring children into the world. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be with that woman, okay? And then most women won't mind dragging you through the system, okay? I'm not saying all women, but most women won't mind dragging you through the system, and you're probably going to end up losing and go through hell just to try to be able to procreate and bring a child into this world. Okay, so it's a lot of things we got to clean up in society, period. Okay, that's just not right. And and even as a man, even if that's not the case, you know, men, if you a real man who really care, who not just laying down with a woman, getting her pregnant, and don't care about your child, or don't care how often you see them or interact with them or in their life, you know, just from that regard, you know, you would like to be in your child life, you would like to be able to raise your child and things like that, okay, and and you know, and that child deserves that as well, okay. But like I said, the chances of you actually being with somebody in a true committed relationship where both of y'all can be there and raise your child, that's the prospect of that is getting worse and worse. Okay, but in the, you know, regarding the main thing is, you know, a lot of things got to get worse before they get better. A lot of times, I think we're in pretty bad shape now. So I think it's not a whole lot more getting worse before it does start to get better. So that's some good news, okay? Because like I said, from Bible prophecy, all these things must come to pass, okay? So, but, you know, guard yourself out here, both people, men and women, okay? Because even men, it's the same way, because a lot of men have been put in a position where even if they did come across somebody worthy of marrying or committing to, you know, who is a long relationship type of person and material, you know, a lot of men have put on certain goggles where they only can see women a certain type of way. And so a lot of women, some good women, you know, do have to suffer, you know what I mean, due to now men, you know what I mean, perceiving women a certain type of way, okay, based on past experiences and things like that. All right. So, millennials, guys, I think it's a lot we got to clean up before we worry about um, taking relationships serious and things of that nature. But at the same time, we got to have children. So, I don't know, guys. It's one of them things when you're rocking a hard place. I think only the Most High can truly fix it. We'll see how it works out. But in the meantime, keep your guard up out here. All right, guys. Peace. Hopefully this was a helpful, insightful video.